On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this is 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage and say sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We is back. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? I'm your host with not so much the most, the enigmatic, I messed that word up, knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, the one and only classic Craig. And I blame DMG for that tongue twister. But anyway, he's not here today, so I can't fully blame him, even though he's majorly responsible. So, check it out, right? I have a very, very special treat. And not only that, right? I have a point to prove today. I have a real point to prove that paradigm shift is for everybody. The whole effing show in paradigm shift is for everybody. It's rated E for everyone. So, without a shadow of a doubt, I had to get the one and only legendary figure. And I bumped head with this dude a couple of times, right? But hey, you know what I'm saying? It's 2024. We finna rock it. We finna pretty much in a lot of ways open the gates to everybody who got something to teach, present, and to philosophize. So, without further ado, before I get to the main dish, and that's the great guest that this show is featured on itself, I have to introduce my partner in crime, the one and only undisputed champ. Well, he's not undisputed yet, but he probably will be. I got to give it to A1. Well, what's up, A1? What you got, man?
How y'all doing? Peace to the chat. Peace to everybody in the building. Hope everybody's having a beautiful day. The undefeated champ is in the building, man. I'm here, man. Shout out Sabio. Shout out you. Paradigm shift in the whole effing show. Y'all know what it's rocking.
Yeah, because we finna get rocking with it. But without further ado, man, I have to introduce the Scripture Rippa, Sabio de Pseudo Assassino himself, Esabio. What it do, Esabio, man?
Peace. What up, y'all? Peace. What's going on?
I got Esabio right here. And I just got to tell you this before we get started, ladies and gentlemen. This is Esabio's show on Loud. And, you know, when I do my Loud and Clears, you know, I feature a person, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of mixing some things up and pushing some things together. So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and reach back and get Esabio. Because Esabio don't get no love, right? So I decided to show the brother some love. And on Loud and Clear, today's topic is race and religion. Now, warning, I'm not going to stop Esabio. Y'all try to cancel the brother. I ain't finna cancel him. This is his show, his information. And if you have soft feelings, turn the show off. Anyway, let's get this rolling. So check it out, Esabio. What you got to say? How did it all start with awakening your understanding and how you in a lot of ways came where you are today? What you got, Esabio?
All right. Well, this started with a question that I asked myself sitting in church.
Whoa, church. Where it all start.
Yeah, it all started sitting in church. The pastor, Robert Charles Scott, was talking about Jesus,
Right.
and he he said that Jesus and God was one and the same.
Mm-hmm.
And I was happened to be reading Matthew. I believe it's Matthew where Jesus is headed to the cross, and right before he goes to the cross, he say, "Eloi, Eloi, sabachthani, sabachthani, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" Hmm.
Mm.
Hold up. The pastor just said Jesus and God is one and the same. Well, who the hell was Jesus talking to when he just asked himself? So that led me on a journey of questioning what was I believing.
Questioning. I like that.
Was I believing something that I don't know if it's valid? So I got introduced to Sonetta by a friend of mine. I got introduced to Sonetta, and on that show I saw Aunt Reggie Garfield, and they were breaking down the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sonetta started doing his drive-bys on the Bible, and having the Hebrew Israelites come on the show and destroying and just showing the contradictions in the scriptures. And at this time, I was still looking at Dagger Squad, and I was still going to church at this time. So I
Okay.
did not immediately leave.
Okay. So
It took me a couple of months to actually leave. Um, I was also watching Dagger Squad at this time, so I was learning more. And the more I learned, the more questions I got I had. So I asked the pastor a couple months after, who was Jesus talking to on the cross?
mm-hmm.
And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, Jesus and God is one and the same. Then why would Jesus? And I've never really told anyone the whole details. I just told them that that was the reason. But this happened after a Bible study that I was talking to him with my godmother. And he said, well, you would have to study the Bible more to figure out who Jesus was talking to, son. I said, and at that moment, I said, I'm not going back to church because it seemed like there's some misconceptions going on. So I took it upon myself to start rereading the Bible and talking to Dagger Squad. And once I started reading the letters of Paul again, it led me to see that the whole thing was created through the lives of Paul going through Judaism. So it's a whole twist that made me lead a religion. Once I started realizing that I was following the teachings of Paul and I really didn't know what I was believing, I became more of an agnostic. And
Mm-hmm.
as I've learned more about the different deities, the different gods from different empires, and more about Judaism and the creation of it, I became a what you would call a soft atheist. And the more I learned about the gods, Inanna, Enki, Enlil, Darius Pater, I couldn't be a soft atheist. I had to become an anti-theist, and that's where I'm at now.
Anti-theist. So you against all the gods. You don't care which one is it.
I'm
Mesopotamian.
against all gods, all religions.
all gods, all religions. That's cold. That's cold. So basically, it started with something and the pastor wasn't able to pretty much in a lot of ways break it down. He just wanted to accept it because it was just in the Bible, and you just had to not question it at the end of the day because it's the Bible. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I understand completely. Esabio. So let's rock into this right here, right? You started looking at Dagger Squad. Like, who'd you start looking at? Like Reggie. I know you looked at Ankh, but
Mm-hmm.
not a part of Dagger Squad. But you got Reggie. Not Reggie's not even part of Dagger Squad. I'm tripping. So what? I'm just put with Garfield. You got Rob Bourne. You know what I'm saying? Um,
All of them, Rob Bourne, Truth, Storian, Garfield,
mhm.
all of them. Reggie,
Mm,
all of them was vital. They all helped me reach to new levels of information, going to new grounds that hadn't been tapped. So as I kept studying, and I had already had a degree and studies in African American history coming. Shout out to Forest Park Community College for giving me the steps that I needed to get the degree in African American Black Studies. I already had a background in that, so we were talking about slavery and the slave trades, and
hmm
there was a big gap missing. It seemed like we just jumped from the 1700s, from the 700s right to the 1400s. And we did not take into account what was happening in between 700, 800, 900, 1000, 1100, 1200. We did not know what was going on in those time frames. So, I asked the question, what led up to the transatlantic slave trade?
hmm
Was there something prior to the transatlantic slave trade? And as I researched, I ran into the sub-Saharan slave trade.
hmm
And as I did more research, I ran into the Ottoman Empire coming into power in 1453.
hmm
And when they took control of the trade routes that the Portuguese, French, and all those people had been trading on for the last 1,000 years, they could no longer go through the Sahara route, land route, and the trade routes, the seaports that they were using were manned by Ottoman pirates, Ottoman corsairs. So they could not use the sea route. So they had to find a new port, a new route, and that sent them down the coast, which opened up a route to the New World. They found those islands, the Madeira Islands, and from there opened up the routes to the transatlantic slave trade.
A lot of folks don't know that. They don't know that at all, and they don't even jump into that. You see what I'm saying? But you dared to jump into it, right?
Yeah, that was a deep study. My boy Rocky, a couple other of my soldiers that helped me form Scripture Rippers, psychological shackle breakers. Um, they were they were they were vital in that study.
I
It
see.
was a lot of reading, a lot of going through old, untapped information. But once you saw it, there was no denying that and it gets even worse as you actually delve into it because this all connects up to the Hermetic myth or the Hermetic hypothesis, whatever you want to call it, the curse of Ham. It all connects to that, and the curse of Cain, and it all connects to that biblical myth. And you can even connect it to the second century. Shout out to my boy Morpheus for helping me connect it to the Muslims in the second century through the Jews who taught the Muslims who knew not the word, but through the Jews, they were taught the Torah, and that allowed the Muslims who have been using North Africans and going into other parts of Africa since the 2nd century, 3rd century, using Africans as slaves. Um, Even though they weren't really specific on who they enslaved at that time, they would get slaves from anywhere. The Arabs would, but
Yeah,
they have a long history of going into Africa using Africans as slaves.
yeah, they do have a long history. They have a very, very long history. And if you look today in a lot of modern day Africa, the act of them in African people is evident. You see what I'm saying? Even into the cultural practices of some tribes. You know what I'm saying? Because of what a lot of those Muslims have done. You know what I'm saying? It
Right.
was so dominant, right? Like, they're speaking, Arabic. You see what I'm saying? In some of those regions. You know what I'm saying? So it is, yeah, 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 exactly. Exactly. So check this out, right? Now, because you have researched and you've dived deep into these endeavors that most people wouldn't even fathom to pretty much come into, what did
Hmm.
you about a lot of the people who had these religious beliefs or the religious right to enslave another race? What did you notice about that, Esabio?
So, the, what did I notice? That the main thing that I noticed was that they used God. They used their religion.
Hmm. Hmm. So they used God.
Hmm.
Now, you and me spoke about how at the end of the day, right? You talked about, oh, and I've seen a little bit of the research too, right? I forgot the dude's name, but in a lot of ways, he talked about there's a certain part in the brain that lights up and pretty much in a lot of ways pulsates once a so-called fanatic, he described it, or a person.
You're talking about dopamine.
Yeah, 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 yeah. The dopamine flow in their brain. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm.
A lot of
So
individuals.
you've been checking out some of my research.
Yeah, I've been checking it out. I've been checking it because they person who has that belief like that belief to a terrorist bomber and stuff like that. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
but so with that being said, right, these people that have this type of mindset, right, and shout out to Jessica Fields, the blackest woman that I know. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to her. But anyway, right, those people who pretty much at the end of the day have this type of mindset, right? When that dopamine flows, I saw a little bit what that guy was talking about. I think he was a neurologist. One of the things he said that they don't have the compassion anymore because they're so driven by what they believe. You see what I'm saying? One guy even pretty much said at the end of the day, right, that they pretty much in a lot of ways try to, how can I put it, force their God or their religious belief on another person to the point to where they become
Hmm.
apathetic. No,
Fanatical.
apathetic.
Apathetic. Yeah, apathetic. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They become that, right? Now, we're not in the 20th century back then, right? So we're looking at how they were back then, cold, uncut, natural law. You see what I'm saying? So today on Loud and Clear, we're talking about race and religion, right?
Hmm.
Race and religion. Now, Asabio, we got to take the training wheels off. We got to take the safety off the pistol. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Got to take it
My
off
45 ACP stay fully loaded with Eagle talents.
with eagle talents. Ay, ay, ay. Armor person piercing bullets or something like that, bro.
Hmm.
All right. So check it out, right? I need you to get to the nitty of how it affected black folk as a whole, bro. From the continent to North America to even South America and even over there in Europe. You see what I'm saying? We got to
All
get
right. Well, that's a that'll be something I will have to present, and I will make sure next time I have some information to back up what I'm going to present. what I'm about to say. But
Right.
the first thing that we have to take into account, and I'm sure everyone within earshot knows this, Africa, the continent, from Egypt to South Africa, every person, every nation, every people, every culture had their own religious practices,
Hmm.
worship practices, ways of life, whatever you want to call it, gods, goddesses, orishas, whatever you want to term it. We know this. Now, we know that these religions come from a specific area in the Levant, which is a strip of land between the Mediterranean world, Europe, Asia, and Africa. It sits in this crux, in this nice little spot, and it happens to sit on the major trade routes of the world also.
Right. Hmm.
Just happen to be in the area of the major trading routes. Okay, now these Jewish people or these Israelites, they had their religious practices and they were in contact with people from North Africa, Egypt mainly, through trade. Yet and still they were able to stay separate, keep their ideology separate, because you don't really see too much Yahweh worship in the hieroglyphs. From what I've been able to learn from the teachers of the hieroglyphs. I'm not a metal netta reader, but I can understand the glyphs when they break them down using gardeners and the other formats that they use to break it down. Okay, so as you continue to move forward through history, you start seeing these people coming into this area for trade. These invaders start coming into North Africa, Egypt, that area for the gold, taking over Egypt. Air, air, Arabs, and they start moving in, and they bring their religious practices with them.
Right.
And now, as they start conquering, their religion starts to do what? Spread. So the Arabs, once they learned the religion, and it didn't get codified until about the 7th century, 8th century. They don't have a book until about the 13th century, somewhere around there. Um, but yeah, they do have a religion pop up under this guy Muhammad. And once they take on the ideology of Asilam Tassalam, or get down to lay down, then and they learn the idea that Africans or people of dark skin are cursed because of what Ham did to Noah. This starts becoming the religious ideology,
Hmm.
and it spreads through the religious literature, through the through the Greek writings, and the Quran, and the way that they juxtapose evil and light, evil and good. White is good, evil is black. And if you start looking at the caricatures, the drawings, and the literature that they placed on the continent of Africa, you will start seeing dark shapes, dark figures, evil looking figures coming from that area, and all the saintly looking figures coming from the Levant area, Europe area. And this is giving them justification in their mind, because in their literature, they are to tame the savage beast. So as you continue to move forward in history through the Catholic Church, they introduce papal bulls, which also gives them the right to conquer any land that is not under the Catholic or Christian banner. Dum Diversas Romanus Pontifex, the Treaty of Tordesillas, and a couple other, the Intercatera, and then they also, so now you start seeing the literature backing up the old religious ideology, and now they have laws that grants them the express right to bring any pagan, heathen that is not under Christianity or Catholicism.
So,
They,
so, hold on right quick, Sabio. Hold on right quick. Hold on. 'Cause a lot of people will not catch what you said. They're not gonna get. So
that's why I need a presentation.
I
It'll be a
know,
lot easier if I had a presentation.
I, I know, I know.
You
I know.
can come up here and fact check me. I got all my facts laid down. That's the problem.
But hold on right quick. Hold on.
I can't share my screen though.
Hold on right quick, Sabio. Hold on right quick. Let's not focus on the troll. Let's get back to reasoning and logic. I'm gonna say it again. Logic. So anyway, check it out, right? Because of these people's belief at the time and the government and the superstition, because that's what it was, right? They felt that they had the so-called divine right to bring these so-called savages, so-called uncivilized individuals under the holy leadership of those who follow God, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm actually going to read. I'm actually going to read from this book. Let me find it. I actually have it right. Let me pull this book up. There it is. Let me make sure I'm on the right page so I can read what the
Yeah,
what the top of bulls actually said.
tell us the name to it, the book to it. Hey, one, if you got
The,
anything to ask,
the,
hey, tune in after he get done dropping the knowledge, man.
the name
Yeah,
of the book is.
Go ahead,
Go
Mr.
ahead, bro.
I was gonna comment on when you were talking about the laws that they were passing. That was the doctrine of discovery.
The doctrine of discovery.
Yeah, it's called the
You
doctrine of
know
discovery.
exactly. Thank you. I'm not making nothing up.
Yeah, and then they actually passed that into congressional law too as well. So like, I got a whole presentation on just the doctrine of discovery. In Canada, they just repudiated it, which is like an apology. It's not rescinding it, because to start to rescind it, I got the news. I got them talking about it on the news, so it's not like something I'm making up. You know what I'm saying? It's like this stuff's
Right.
actually on the news. The indigenous people were protesting the Pope and all of them coming there, and eventually they repudiated it, which was an apology. To start to rescind it was would be would start a domino effect of lawsuits, because through that they hold title to the land. So, then the doctrine of discovery said anybody that wasn't a Christian, they were allowed to come take anything they had, take them off their land,
That's what they
enslave them
did.
pretty
That's what
much.
they did in America too. Same
Yeah.
thing.
And anybody can Google this, notes from the underground got me
The
rolling over here in
Americas.
the comments, but
Let me put the
notes
S
from
on
the
it.
I don't know specifically. You can look up the doctrine of discovery, and you can see the Pope recently this year in 2023. So it's 2024 now. So last year, you will see him apologizing in Canada for this, and they're talking about it heavy on the Canadian news. I just
Yeah, I
caught
got it.
I caught it. Yeah, all you gotta do is type it in on YouTube, and it's gonna bring up all the news articles. Not news articles, but the news talking about it, and you can see the different lawyers and stuff that they have going over it. And every branch of Christianity, I'm not gonna get into that. I'm gonna let you go ahead
You're
and
right.
finish.
Yeah, it's
But
good.
go ahead. Yeah, you already know where I was about to go with that. So, we need
So,
reparations from the church as well. You know what I'm
so
saying? Because, and so goes the saying, black people hate everything about slavery except for the church, except for
right,
Jesus.
except for the church.
You know, they had the biggest hand in
So,
stealing
so, so can
everything.
I read? So can I read something? And this is coming from the Pope, the Catholic transatlantic slavery, the Pope, and the Catholic Church. All right, I'm going to read how it all began. The 13th and the 14th centuries will always remain fresh in the minds of historians as a period of great need for survival in Europe. It was a period of many internal wars for territorial expansion, such as the French-English War, popularly known as Hundred Years' Wars, which began in 1337 and lasted up to the mid-15th century. The Great Christian Crusades for the propagation, preservation, and defense of the Christian faith carried out by the Christians of Europe against each other, as well as the ones carried out against the militant Islamic religion and its control over the Holy Land and other places that formerly belonged to Christendom also took place within this period. All right, I'm going to skip down a little bit. All right, where am I looking for? Given the pressures imposed as a result of all this, there was then the need to look for help elsewhere outside Europe so as to search for human and material resources that will enable them to sustain their nations. West Africa, the Far East, and Asia offered a trading outlet. But the problem of now remember, I just mentioned this. But the problem of the opposing Arab Muslim powers, coupled with the activities of the Crusades, prevented them from making a maximum utilization of travels over the land that would bring them to the quote unquote promised land. What did I say? Now, they were. Okay, there was therefore the need to make a voyage through seafaring to the source of the West African and Indian wealth. All right, now let me skip down. It was the first crusade at the end of the 11th century that gave the Christians of Europe a chance to become sugar producers in their own right. Emulating the Arabians, who as late as the 8th century AD had cultivated sugar plantations in Sicily and Spain, European crusaders used the crusades of 13th century to cultivate sugar plantations in Syria and Palestine with the help of slave labor. I'm just looking for because I'm trying to get to the where they use where they mention the dumb verses and all that. Here they go. They mention in the Spanish crowns now. Another serious factor that led to the establishment of the transatlantic slave trade was the discovery of America by Christopher Columbus in 1492. All right. Now, they should be getting ready to mention them. Talking about Alexander. Here it is. Yep, I found it. Right. I knew I was in the right spot. In order to exercise full control of authority and supremacy over their discovered islands in the Americas, as well as to avoid any rivalry in the gains and profits that might flow from their investments in these colonies, the king of Spain, under the cover of missionary expansion of the church in the new colonies, sought for and secured the permission and authority of Pope Alexander VI over the entire regions of the present-day South and North America. The permission and authority granted to the Spanish king to exercise full control and ownership of this part of the world was contained in the papal bull Inter Cartera of Pope. Now, notes, go check that out. Why you yelling? Why before you come up here yelling at me? Of Pope Alexander VI in 1493. According.
Hold on, real quick. Hold, Sabio. Hold. I said you can take the safety off, bro, but you don't gotta shoot everybody with rocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, man. But wait. Let's talk a little bit about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Sabio. See,
it was finna get worse. If you let me read the next three lines. The authority of these bulls of the Pope. The authority of the bulls of these The authority of these bulls of the Pope gave the conquistadors the opportunity to exploit the natives to do the works on their cultivated sugar and cotton plantations, as well as to break the hard rocks in order to reach at the gold and silver mines. But as the natives of Hispaniola were not used to doing this kind of hard job, coupled with the outbreak of quote unquote white epidemics that killed them in their thousands. Here comes you get it ready. There arose the need to hold slaves to work in their place, and the lot fell on black Africans at the suggestion of who? Bishop Bartholomew de las Casas, who, in his bid to liberate the suffering Indians from enslavement, suggested that black Africans should be used to replace the dying Indian population in the slave works at the plantations and on the gold and silver mines. Following this suggestion, King Ferdinand of Spain in 1510 gave permission to import black African slaves directly from the West African Atlantic coast to the Americas. By so doing, the ball was rolled into motion for the smooth takeoff of the transatlantic slave trade.
Are you not entertained?
Whoa. So, Esabio, you're telling me, right? Because a lot of people do understand and know that, yeah, they did enslave the natives first, right? But so they saw the natives were not strong enough to do the physical labor. So, and just for me reading a little bit, just remember off the top of my little dome here, you know what I'm saying? The natives knew the land too much. You see what I'm saying? And they was able to escape. Not only that, a lot of them were like they didn't have the ability to pretty much withstand some of the diseases that the Europeans brought along with them. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they brought our kind, our people. You see what I'm saying? Those from the diaspora. You see what I'm saying? Over.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, right? And this is just me thinking, it fit the narrative of the so-called Hermetic hypothesis that they constructed. It fit the narrative. It fits the whole 9 yards. All the way to, you know what I'm saying? And they ran. So you're telling me at the end of the day, right? They had pretty much a pre-trial with the natives. Trying to
because they were dark skinned.
Yeah, because they were dark skinned a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Dark as red, whatever, how people are, look, copper color, however they pretty much said it. You know what I'm saying? How much they tried to pretty much in a lot of ways, you know, make it fit. So they pretty much used that angle. And then again, they let that go, let them be free. Because, you know, the natives back then, they were able to be pretty much in a lot of ways slave owners and be treated as European. They were civilized. You see what I'm saying? So 5 civilized tribes that every Negro in America say they're from. You know what I'm saying? That enslaved. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's a different story. But they tried that with them. Didn't work. They ran over to us and they pretty much just bombarded us with all type of insanity with their religion, basically. Creating a whole generation of brainwashed individuals, spiritually broken individuals, mentally broken individuals. Just
that happened as a necessity.
Right.
It was an unfortunate necessity. Unfortunately. It was an unintended outcome. All they were trying to do was get slaves. They was trying to build their plantations up. If they had to Christianize you in order, because they was probably getting you from the Muslims who was already over there, because you got to understand that the Muslims had also taken control of the trade route in 1453. So that ran all those, whatever trade route that those Spanish people had, they had to get at those Europeans had before those Arabs took control in 1453. They no longer had control of that. So put them in a situation to where they were scrambling for survival. If anybody remember any of the videos I did on the Ottoman Empire, you will remember that the Jews and the Christians, they had to pay a tax in order to practice their religion. The jizya tax. or Sijah tax. They had to walk in the street. They had to bow down to Muslims. They had to. It was they were second class citizens,
Mm.
but they were supposed to have the right God.
A just God.
The right God.
The right God. What you mean? Break that down. Break that down.
They are Yahweh and Jesus is supposed to be the only supreme God.
Right.
Now,
Right.
how are they underneath Allah?
How are they underneath Allah?
How are they bowing down to these Muslims who worship Allah? And we taught these people about, they got their religion from us.
Mm.
They had to escape that what they will call tyranny. And they escaped it, going down the coast, opening up the new world. And they exploited other people as a consequence.
All in the sake for their religion.
All in the sake of freeing themselves from a situation that they didn't want to be in to practice their religion freely. Because they wanted to practice their religion freely. Remember, for 1,000 years, Christianity or Catholicism had ruled Rome.
Mm. Brutal. Very brutal. Grim, dark, brutal. Ah, dang. That almost made me shed a tear, Sabio. I'm for real, bro. You made me
Yeah,
envision.
the Muslims was brutal. I think it's pronounced jizya. The
Jizya,
tax.
yeah, it's one of them words. I know I
Jizya.
screwed it up. I
Jizya.
know I screwed it up.
Yeah, it's and I might be messing it up too. No, but I've heard it used, so that's why.
No, I was talking about the islands. I wasn't talking about America, Teddy. I was talking about the islands, the Azores Islands.
I thought you were talking about the tax when you said jizya.
Yeah. That's what I was
Yeah,
talking
that's
about, the
the
tax.
tax that they
But
make you pay.
I'm
It's like
talking to
they're
Teddy in the
extorting
chat.
you. You know,
Yeah,
they're extorting people and making them pay for protection. So it is what it is.
yeah. That's what I was
But
talking
yeah,
about, that tax.
they grime you with it. They take the text and use it for political gain.
So and to enable, so watch this, because there was five main goals of one of the first people to sail, and this Henry the Navigator, he had five main goals. All right, and these was taken down by his chronicler Gomez and Yanez de Azarara, 1410 to 1474, in his work The Chronicles of the Discovery and Conquest of Guinea. In this epic work, Azarara confirmed that his master Prince Henry carried out his discovery and conquest of West Africa for the following reasons. So here go the five following reasons Prince Henry conquered West Africa: to discover the land that lay beyond the Isles of Canary and that cape called Bojador, by reason of the fact that up to his time, neither by writing nor by memory of man was known with any certainty the nature of the land beyond that cape. B, to know if there were Christians in that land or havens where it is possible to sail without danger, so as to engage in a trade with the people living there. C, to ascertain the military powers of the Moors in the regions of North Africa, so as to know the extent of their power. D, to know if he could find a Christian king in that land with whom alliance could be formed in the fight against the arch enemy of the Christian church. For he sought to know if there were in those parts any Christian princes in whom the charity and the love of Christ was so ingrained that they would aid him against those enemies of the faith. E, to spread the Catholic faith.
Ah, to, to,
To
to, to, to spread the Catholic. Wow.
to spread the Catholic faith, for it was his great desire to make increase in the faith of our Lord Jesus Christ and to bring to him all the souls that should be saved.
Well, that is oh man, that's that's sinister. Man, they so is making Jesus look like a dang villain, bro. Woo, man, that's
Well, I don't be. That isn't my intention. It's my intention is to show the history,
no,
to help us better understand the history.
no, not you.
Because
Is
if we don't know the history, we will continue to make mistakes,
well,
and
not
that's
not.
what
I'm not saying you.
I'm tired of.
I'm saying how they're trying to pretty much in a lot of ways, like how they pretty much like. I'm gonna put it to you like this, right? They say he's probably trying to come in peace and stuff like that, right? But how they're doing
Hmm.
all stuff and the name so-called peace and love, but it's not peace and love. You see what I'm saying? It's just it's wild.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Bro, hey, nice build by the way, man. This history. I'm seeing the history of it, man. It's dirty dealings, man. Golly. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
it took a lot of reading for me to even get to where I am, and some things I had to reread. I had to go back to. I really had to go deep. Like you have to go and you have to know what they were doing in 1442. Like people don't know. Like the first papal bull was issued in 1442 or 1452. Like 1 year before the Ottoman Empire fell.
Right.
Hmm. I mean, before the Ottoman Empire took over Constantinople. 1 year.
Hmm. So all this was pretty much in a lot of ways a orchestrated system.
I I don't. I wouldn't say it was orchestrated. I would say they were already setting things in motion in 1443 because right here coming from, and I have another source to back this up. It says, and it was for this purpose that that Prince Henry saw and secured the permission of Pope Eugene IV in 1443, who granted him the authority and the right of ownership over all the lands and places discovered along the West Atlantic coast of Africa since the capture and fall of the North African city of Quetta in 1415.
Man, you know what, man? Boy, this I think
So,
hey, hold on. A1, where you at, A1? But I think you told me this. You the one who said this. Watch out for a Christian, for they are some sneaky individuals. I think you said that to me. You know what I'm saying? These dudes is pirates. Uh, these pirates, raiders,
they were,
marauders.
yeah, they were.
I
The
mean,
conquistadors were fought, the conquistadors, they had their sword, their shield, and their cross.
yeah, whew, I read about the conquistadors and some of the stuff they did. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what's the boy name? I forgot his name, but he was very, very, very vicious. And he had black conquistadors too, those slaves. I don't know if they were all eunuchs in his crew. One wrote about him. I think his name was Cortez. I think that was
Uh
his,
huh.
I think his name.
Oh, so now I'm up here with the papal bulls that I was just speaking of. All the rights and privileges granted to Prince Henry the Navigator and the royal crown of Portugal by Pope Eugene IV were confirmed by his predecessors, especially Pope Nicholas V in 1452 and 1454, respectively. This shows the relevance of the Papal Bull of 1443 as a foundational papal bull in the history of the establishment of the Atlantic slave trade. It sets in motion all the powers, both temporal and spiritual, which the Crown of Portugal enjoyed in its history in West Africa. These powers were consolidated by Pope Nicholas V, 1447 to 1455, who, in his two bulls, Dum Diversis of 1452 and Romanus Pontifex of January 8, 1454, granted to Prince Henry, among other things. Listen, here go the crux. The right to conquer, as well as to reduce to the status of slaves the native Africans living south of Cape Bojador.
Wait, you lost me there. Repeat that again. Repeat that last the
So,
crux. What you said was the
so the
crux.
crux. It granted to Prince Henry, Romanus Pontifex, and Dum Diversis the right to conquer, as well as to reduce to the status of slaves the native Africans living south of Cape Bojador.
Man, this is, bruh. Jessica Fields said religion is a white man's. I think she's rage typing, but she's basically said that religion is something that the white man constructed. You see what I'm saying? Um, and I'm kind of looking at this as Salvio. You know what? Yeah, you do got to present. You see what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
pretty much in a lot of ways, pretty much timelines and things, right? And I know you show the sources. I know you adamant researcher. You know what I'm saying? Cause I remember in the chat you was always posting these daggers and all these articles and books and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
One thing about Ratchet, he did say that you are a reading machine. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You do
Yeah,
this.
I read too much. I tell myself I got to take breaks all the time.
Dang, dang. But man, that's extreme, bro. So you really went into the history. So basically, you would be a historian. I would want.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, all right. Wow. When you said you was in them books, I didn't know you was really in them books like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I'm reading 2 books now.
Dang. Now are we doing an interview?
Well, I got them. I'm reading not now, but while we're doing the interview book, yeah, I'm reading 2 books. I got 2 books that I'm reading.
Oh man, dang, yo, yeah, you a cold dude, man. And shout out to Jessica. You know what I'm saying? She
No, I just like history. I fell in love with history at a young age, and I really was always trying to figure it out. Somewhere along the path, going through junior high school, I lost touch with it, but I picked it back up maybe the 10th grade, 11th grade.
oh man. Hey, yo, what you got? A1 on mute yourself, Chief.
Oh, this is a new book I'm reading. It reads pretty easy. It's like it's a college level reading, but I'll be done with it probably in a couple days.
What's like it
It's
said,
called The Christian
Christian.
Delusion. It's got like a chapter from like a different PhD on different subjects. So like the other day, nobody was asking name 5 Christian what's the names. I was like, well, I can just pull 5 off my shelf, like let alone books like this. But it's got somebody from like the field of psychology, from the field of anthropology, a historian, somebody from a PhD from each field writing in on this. So it's a pretty dope read so far.
Okay.
But it ties into some of what he was saying.
Okay.
But yeah, you see, this is the early history. So once you get into America and they're selling the Americas, what we have to understand is that we have different people at different times bringing in slaves in different parts of the land, and they're not using the same laws.
Not using the same laws. Man.
That's why you will have so much confusion. That's why you have so many people thinking they're Abo, they're Moorish, they're anything but, because now you see when the French come and when the French get into the Louisiana territory, they have what? The Code Noirs, the Black Codes. Something totally different from the slave codes that they had in Virginia. They had a whole different set of laws that they operated by up in New York than they did in Virginia. So now, can you understand the confusion? You
Well,
have octoroons, you have down in Virginia, you have octoroons, cinnamoroons, quadroons.
man.
In some places, you just got mulattoes.
So there was just pretty much a lot of ways making up things. You know what? You know what? For a long, because this is one thing I am doing, Esabio. Um, and I'm kind of funny, so I'm really studying the different clans of Christians. You see what I'm saying? Like you
Hmm.
got the Calvinist, and then you got the, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know,
Hmm.
different clans. So is there any? And I'm not well studied in it. You know what I'm saying? But is there any link to that or anything anywhere from what you just read to what I just mentioned? Stuff like that with the different classes of Christians or different clans. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't looked into it like that. What do you mean with the laws? Possibly. There could
Mm,
be some link with the laws, the link to the religions.
mm, I see. I see. I see. Wow.
I haven't looked into the religion and the links between the laws that they were implementing. I haven't looked into it like that. That would be a interesting lane to look into.
Okay. 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 Yeah, because
But
I'm
you
on.
would think, but you would think their religious ideology drove the laws that they implemented,
Okay. 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 I see. I see. I see. I see completely. And
especially before they united and became the United States.
mm,
So
before they.
we have to. So we're talking 17, the Black Codes of 1724, or of 1712.
Right.
You know, or um, or the slave codes. So you have to get the slave codes before 1776
Man.
to start understanding how the racial demographics were being used or outlined then.
Right. So. Okay. These slave codes, right? I'm gonna ask you this. And no, Jessica, I did not change my jersey. I keep on the same jersey all the time. I don't change jerseys. But anyway, so let's get so Sabio, these slave codes, right? And let's just focus on
Mhm.
us like African Americans, right? Did they place any religious belief or influence in these codes or anything like that, Chief? Uh,
We weren't allowed to. We weren't allowed to read the Bible. In
okay,
most of these slave codes, we weren't allowed to be taught it or read or to read the Bible. In most of these, any person taught ex- teaching slaves to read could be beaten or fined and things. So yeah, they place religious, and that's why they had religious instructions written by Charles Colcock Jones and things like that on how to Christianize you, things like that. So, and these were, I think, the first one was written by him in 1724.
mm, mm. I see, I see, I see, I see, I see, I see. Okay, so anyway, let's. You know what? Yeah, we gonna dive into history with you next time, Asabio, because you serious. You see what I'm saying? Your mama left you in front of History Channel when you was growing up, Chief. You were walking inside.
Nah,
I,
nah, nah, she did it. I didn't really watch too many shows. I've read a lot of National Geographics and encyclopedias actually.
mm, dang. So let's get to this right. I wanted to ask you this right, and then I was gonna move on to a few questions. You know what I'm saying? I know A1 I got a bunch too, right?
I
But
thought Notes had some questions. What he running?
oh man, he I don't know, I think he wrestling with his kids or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Probably one of them grabbed his dang chain. Um, I gotta ask you this, right? Oh, Chief. Now, Ratchet Craig, well, all right, let me say his full name. The Honorable Nigerian Priest from Kemet, Ratchet Muhammad Craig, right? told me that you adamantly love Black people, that you
Yes, I do.
would in a lot of ways want to teach, want to awaken, want to pretty much advance our people past the fantasy of religion at the end of the day. That's true, right? I don't misquote you or anything like that, but does that sound correct?
Yes, I am African. You see what it says? We are African. Period.
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 Strong period. Strong.
Period.
Mm-hmm. And dang, Sabio, you even in the chat, man. You multitasking, I see. So jumping back to it, right? We are African like that. I want to kind of, in a lot of ways, ask you this, right? Now, with religious brainwashing pretty much enforced on our ancestors now, how
Hmm.
how do you perceive, matter of fact, it affected us today in your own words and you know what I'm saying, in your own thoughts?
Well, first off, when we talk about when I talk about our ancestors, I really don't see them being brainwashed. I see them adopting an ideology that helped them survive.
Right. Okay.
That's how so I don't really fault the ancestors for doing what they had to do to survive. Because had they all decided to fight, jump off them ships, where would we be?
Right. Where would we be?
Where
Not
would we be?
non-existent.
Bingo. So that's why I cannot fault them for accepting something that helped them live and teach their children to live.
Okay. Okay. So you can't fault
What
them.
I No, I don't. What I don't think our ancestors wanted us to be doing in 2024 was still not studying how these things came to be,
Right.
accepting the idea that we don't have a history. We don't know who we are. We don't know where we came from. That our history starts in America.
Hmm. Hmm. I see. I see.
That's where the contention really rises up with me, because people think I'm attacking the religion, and I'm actually trying to help you see how we got to where we are today. Like
Wow.
I hear a lot of people that I've had conversations with who are Christians admit and speak on the African traditional practices,
Mm-hmm.
but then they would dismiss them
So okay, so they would
to
dis
accept Christianity. And that is really confusing to me. It's like, that we had thieves. How can you not see that if our ancestors had something that what they made, that they brought, is made up just like what our ancestors had? If you're going to accept something, why not accept something original to you?
Hmm. Well, check this out. From what I'm looking at, right? A lot of people, and you know, and I want to talk about the Egyptomaniac stuff with you also. You see what I'm saying? Because
I don't even really know. I don't get into all that. All I studied Egypt for, I'm gonna tell you straight out. I wanted to study Egypt to see if there were ever a African king or black kingdoms, which I say there were, um, and to figure out how they was using how race was being constructed. Because if you pay attention, race was being constructed in that area in that time. So the ideology of racism was being constructed. You have to have the negative connotations to place on a people before you can develop the word race. You
right,
feel me?
right, no, and I got you, but but check this out though. This is one thing I was saying. I'm not talking about because I'm gonna dive into all that stuff with you, the politics and all of that. We gonna dive into that like later, because that's something in detail that you have to show know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, this would be a deep presentation. I'm gonna have
that's
to put together a PowerPoint, something like that.
very, you know what I'm saying? You're very, very concrete with it. But I'm talking about the I dub them a species, the species of Egyptomaniacs, right? That would pretty much, in a lot of ways, dismiss pretty much everything in West Africa to take
Yeah, I agree. I don't understand that. I don't know the phenomenon. I
so
really don't know how to explain that. I really don't. Like, and the explanation I do give is that because of because of the emphasis put on by Europeans or white scholars, then it's black scholars' way of trying to take it back. Like, it's a fight over one of the greatest dynasty civilizations to that's I don't know though. I
I mean,
really don't.
well, I had this one time. I had this talk with Ratchet. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, not Ratchet. Pastor Ratchet. You see what I'm saying? Except, you know, you feel what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
right, he pretty much, a lot of ways, right? Just like how you had some of the Hebrews who try to say that the Bible chose the Bible. Those people who Egyptomaniacs, they pretty much have the same of, I call it war Christian value of it. You see what I'm saying? Trying to be the people of the Bible, because you know I've seen a couple of them, and I'm not gonna say any names, trying a lot of ways, try to say, well, the Hebrews were influenced by Kemet and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And like they like in a way Bible ties it, but even though they're not in the, you feel me?
Right.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, I don't know.
yeah, so
That
you know.
shit weird to me, bro.
No, I know, and you know, me, I like to understand why they came up with this, how they get this, you know what I'm saying, and why are they trying to pretty much, in a lot of ways, put Christianity right, because
Hmm.
it's so bad to say that we were automatically Christian, but somehow the white man used his white man magic to steal Christianity from Egypt, and he took it and he was practicing actually ancient Kemetic. You know what I'm saying, stuff like that. You see what I'm saying?
They be saying some weird stuff. I don't.
You funny, the
That's
white
why.
man magic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
white.
the white man magic. Yeah, yeah, they
that's
get a. It's funny because when you
that's
actually
not how
think
we.
about it, the white man is God. When you
Right,
actually, they have made the white man God.
and the devil. You
Yeah,
know,
both of them.
yep.
It's crazy. That's a good point. I ain't think about it like that.
But you see the point how these people were Christian, right? And because of their Christian roots, they took it and placed it in something else in order to pretty much, in a lot of ways, try to make it say like, "Yo, we were Christian by default, but African Christian came." You see what I'm saying?
Right. No, we weren't. And what's even crazier, if you actually study the slave trades, if people actually study the slave trades, most of the people getting off them slave ships were Muslim
Right.
because who had already been over there? The Muslims.
Mm-hmm.
All y'all got to do is study history. Like, this isn't that. This should like none of this stuff. It should be a surprise to people, but they act like it's a surprise, so they attack. I don't
But
know why you attack me. All you have to do is study it to see if I'm lying. And once you see that I'm not lying, you be like, damn. Who,
It's,
Mansa Musa. What was Mansa Musa?
Muslim.
Damn.
yeah,
Come on.
it's funny, Craig.
Sundiata Kita.
You were saying talking about Christianity in Africa. The Christians always say Christianity started in Africa. I'm like, yeah, so did all them African spirituality religions that you hate too. Like, what do you
Christianity
what?
didn't start in Africa though.
I mean, not to even go down that with them. Just I cut them real short. Like, so did everything else you hate.
And
Pagan.
if they do,
So
and the
why are you
next time they
bringing that
bring
up?
that up, if you don't know about Frumentius and Izana, if that's probably who they're talking about, Nubian Christianity in the 4th century. No, no, that's no. Christianity didn't start in the 4th century. Wrong. So just bring up these. Say don't be talking about Frumentius and Izana.
So go ahead, let us know where Christianity started.
Christianity would have started in Turkey, Antioch. where they
ATI.
were first called Christians. Where they were first called Christians.
And do you have a time period for this for the people?
3rd century.
3rd century. You have Christianity starting 3rd century.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it should. You know. Okay.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
I would say a little earlier, but
I'm going with Paul. Who you going off of? I don't know nobody named Jesus.
I just did a
I can't even
presentation.
find a nigga named Jesus. I can't find nobody named Jesus through the whole Bible.
They still looking for this nigga. This
I'm
nigga
still
missing
looking
the
for him.
action. He's supposed to be coming back.
And they say you're
They said
supposed to be able to
30.
pick up something from me from the Gospels, but the Gospels are written by 4 anonymous people who weren't around. So
But
who did
yeah,
they get their stories from?
you said you got Paul in the 3rd century.
Yeah,
No, I got Paul like I'll be honest about it.
70
I got Paul. I gave him like 58, 56.
around the same time.
I
I
was
get
being
it.
nice.
So second
Nah,
century, 3rd century, 2nd century, 3rd century, around the second, third
that's 1st
century. Yeah,
century. That's 1st century. That's a big jump between the 1st and the 3rd century. You know, I'm not trying to start a debate with you.
like Paul, like the last Paul's letter was written in 190, I think, or not 190. I meant to say 90 or 110, somewhere up in there. The last letter, I think, somewhere around there. I don't know. People got who you go by. You might be using Jacob Berman's timeline too. I don't know. So he probably moved his timeline up. So I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's still nonetheless. I still don't believe in
2nd
figure.
century, 3rd century. I don't believe
You
in
know,
it. I don't think
no, because
Jesus existed.
Paul in his writings only talks about Jesus through revelation. You know, he's having
He
visions
don't
of
even talk
Jesus.
about Jesus. He don't
Yeah,
even
I
talk
mean,
about Jesus.
honestly,
He
yeah,
talks about a vision. He talks about a
yeah,
light that he saw.
yeah. So Jesus is a light, and that's who and they use that to verify the real Jesus, though.
Nah.
This shit is real wild.
That
How they
so
take the
so
evidence and stretch it.
yeah, and when you actually go into Paul, you would see that goes back into Paul's teaching as a Jew. Paul was a Jew. Paul never called himself a Christian. Read the letters of Paul.
No, I
The
have,
set and do you see anywhere he calls himself a Christian?
Nope. No, where is my book on the letters of
Okay,
Paul?
so
I got
Paul
the
was
letters of
that.
Paul around here somewhere.
That means Paul was a Jew. He stayed a Jew. He's told you he was a Jew from the tribe of Benjamin.
And then it's wild how they I mean, even if he was writing that at that time, you know.
So when I go into it, I just look at it. I try to look at it historically. I really try to take the belief off of it. So me finding Jesus is going to take a lot of history for me to get to finding this man.
Yeah, it gets real
Unfortunately.
wild. It gets real wild.
Now, if you want me to speculate, I can say, yeah, he existed. But no, I can't speculate. And I don't care if I'm in the minority or on the fringe. That don't bother me. I've been on the fringe of scholarship since I came in. I never been one of the most like people. Who cares?
Jessica Biel. Jesus equals Zeus.
Gee, Sabio, you fearless, bro. You really fearless. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Well,
God,
I can't approach it half-heartedly. Had I approached it half-heartedly, I'd still be stuck believing in spook.
Okay, I got you. Even in spooks. Now, check this out, Sabio. Now, back in the day, man, I did troll you and TD Jakes and try to make you sing along a spiritual song. Now, I'm apologizing.
Yeah, that shit was comical.
I know. Out the group, you pissed off. You kicked me in.
I was like, this nigga tripping.
So I'm sorry, but one I do need from you, brother, I know you got some presentations. I know you got some stuff to get out because, like, I mean, as long as I'm around and you know, angry DMG's around, A1 and you know, master teacher of Black Woman is Godism, Ratchet Craig's around too, right? Greatest. As long as he's around, of course, you're always welcome. You know what I'm saying? You won't get a blind eye. Nobody turn you down. Nobody try to stop you. Nobody try to hit you with a gotcha moment. You know, because I don't even know how to play gotcha. But you know, hey,
That was a gotcha moment when you tried to make me sing them damn songs.
I mean, I was,
What's wrong with you, Craig?
hey, but I got to shout out to.
Oh, there go another one of my sparring partners. What up, Courtney?
I got to. Oh, wait, it's not Courtney. It's Captain Cold Cut Courtney.
Captain Cold Cut Courtney.
Yeah, he called.
That's not an insult, is it, Courtney?
The heck,
He
man.
don't got me
What
repeating
up,
the insult,
Kyle?
do we? Because I'm not trying to insult
And I
you at all.
got to say what's up to a special one. I got up to a special someone right quick. My favorite person in the world, the oldest young nigga on the planet. You know what I'm saying?
Who, Kyle? Yeah, he is the oldest young nigga I know.
The oldest
For real.
young nigga I know, and I gotta say this. You know, congratulations to his new baby girl, Kayella.
Mm-hmm.
You know that
Shout out.
that lets you know he's a narcissist because he named her after him, and he's really gonna be.
You stupid.
Hey, the Kayella, bro. So Kayana or something like that. But it's his name in it. He got all his kids got his name in it. His first and his middle name. So
That's what's up.
But he's really in his kids in their business. So congratulations to Kayella, Kayana. I think it's sound better, but you don't call it Kayella when he mad. But congratulations to that brother, man. You know, and his little girl. Make sure he grow up to be a strong light from the tribe, Gad. But anyway.
And if you're good enough to be my sparring partner, that means you're one of my teachers. So if I call you my sparring partner, Kyle and Courtney, that means y'all taught me something.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying, and Courtney be on. He has a discussion he had to do with A1. Courtney's gonna be on. You know, Captain Cold Cut Courtney. You know what I'm saying, and he called me Darth Vader for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with this brother, but you know he always got the jokes, man. Oh yeah, Sabio. Like I said, you're always welcome. But since Courtney is here, and I told Courtney I'll be with the mess sometime, let's get down with it. And Courtney, don't try to shoot me after this. Now, Sabio, I have to ask you this question right here when it comes down to Christianity as a whole for Black folk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I had this argument with Ratchet Craig, right? He said white folk that are Christian are better at being Christian than Black folk at the end of the day, right? He said because it was their religion originally, right? It pretty much in a lot of ways go with their way of thinking, right? And of course, we was talking about the mind and the brain and how certain things work beneficially, right? He said if you look at Black Christians, right? Black Christians mess up Christianity, right? Because of the dysfunction, because of the I don't know, the planning, because of the narcissistic reasoning and the zealotry that exists within Black folk when it comes down to them in the church, right? That's why it's a lot of dysfunction, a lot of things like that. From your experience, brother, like what do you have to say with that? And then I have one more question from Ratchet, man. Then we're gonna move on to something else.
Now that is an interesting take. I don't really know because I haven't really experienced too much white Christianity. I haven't been to many. I've been to a few, and I've had some dealings with some white Christians, and at the end of the day, they argue, they yell, they don't get it right, they make mistakes, just like we do. They cheat, they beat on their women, they beat their children, they abuse their children. So I really don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I don't really, it's interesting. I saw a video by um, a channel I was watching, and it said that humans didn't need morals. We already had them. The Bible didn't give you morals. They they skewed the morals that we already had.
Man,
And
I say that
we
too a lot, that that teaching a kid, um, that
that is
evil is
that
good and
that you
good is
can
evil at a young age, because God is the one murdering everybody. So it's like,
right, right. So when you
you
read the
know,
Bible and you see but then you suppose all the bad shit happens. It happens from who? God.
yeah,
God caused the wars. He caused the flood. He caused people to go blind. People to get swallowed by whales. People to get boiled and just lose a family. People to get turned into pillars of salt, ate by bear, torn into pieces by she bears. Like women could be raped after they've been kidnapped after a month and been held up and shit. Like you can,
it get
like
real wild up in there, man.
it get
It get
real
real
wild.
wild in there,
It
but
get, and I just be
I
like,
got like 3 Bibles right here, man. Like,
it get
it's
real
get
wild.
real wild.
mm,
It get real wild.
mm.
Like you could be a Hebrew and you could go get a slave woman that was betrothed to another man, but if he hadn't came and claimed her, you can have sex with her, and all you have to do to have your sin forgiven is bring an offering to the door of the church. But what about the woman?
Yeah, who are we scared of in the Bible? Aren't we supposed to be scared of the evil
Scared of
person?
the devil? Right.
Why are we scared? You see what I'm
I'm
saying? It's
confused.
real weird. And once people start recognizing and tuning in to their own intuition, they'll recognize that this issue is not for us. Um, and I digress. Go ahead.
It's like once I started, and it's so I don't know. So I guess that's the juxtaposition people find themselves in when it. So I really don't know how to explain it. How which Christianity or who Christianity was made for, or how I don't think it was really made for. I think it was made for Jews because the first Jews was Christians, but the first, excuse me, let me say that correctly. The first Christians were Jews, excuse me. So I think it was made for Israelites, and other people overtook the religion.
Shout out Ratchet Craig. He said, always effing up my question. He must have messed Craig Classic must have messed up the question that he asked you.
I never mess up that guy's question. That was my question. I didn't even read his question yet. And you know what? If it wasn't for Ratchet Craig, man, I wouldn't be a Hebrew slash Muslim slash Nuwapian right now. Shout out to my master teacher Ratchet. You see what I'm saying?
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And agnostic and somewhat part-time atheist and part-time omnist and part-time Hindu priest and Kemetic acolyte.
Omnist. Damn, you done picked up on Neo shit,
Hey,
Neo X shit,
hey
the
man,
Omni shit.
hey man, Ratchet Craig taught me
All
every
the gods exist.
he taught me every pseudo doctrine out there. He's the master of pseudo. But since he said I messed up his questions, you know what? I'm finna read one of the questions. You see what I'm saying? He's my pseudo brother, and I
The pseudo
appreciate him.
master.
Yeah,
You funny.
yeah, my pseudo master. I appreciate him, right? He asked this, right? This was his question. Sometimes he be so enlightened by the sweet nectar of wild turkey, he forgets. But I got my brother. I got you, Master Teacher Ratchet. So this is his question right here, right? What is the origins and the ethnicity of Jesus, right? And then,
I don't
he
know.
had three. He had three.
I don't know. I don't think
Okay.
he existed.
Well, in Ratchet Craig's voice, right? He said it's a Middle Eastern motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? That was
He
how he
would
was.
be a middle, but if he did exist, he would be a Middle Eastern somebody. He would probably be Turkish, more likely Palestinian or Turkish.
You said Antioch, right?
hmm
That
No,
was his.
I'm saying that's where Christianity. Jesus would have been born in Bethlehem,
Okay, okay.
somewhere around there. So
Okay, you on your toes. I'm just making sure.
Hey, you forgot to say motherfucker, but that's cool, Esabio. But anyway, so here is the second question. Is Christianity the white man religion to African Americans? Is the introduction
Yes.
concept to our ancestors? Is it the introduction and concept to our ancestors? If so, please explain.
Oh, can you repeat? I interrupted you. Can you repeat the question? I wanted to make sure I heard that word because
Okay.
I think I misheard a word.
Is Christianity the white man's religion to African Americans? Right? If so, the introduction and conception to our ancestors. I mean, is it the introduction and conception to our ancestors? If so, please explain.
So the first part, yes, Christianity is the white man's religion, and to the second part, yes, it is due to West Africa. Most West Africans and some Central Africans would have been heavily influenced by Islam. You can say that Christianity was introduced to the West and Central Africans through slavery. So, yes, it'll be their conception of Christianity that we are using, and we are trying to force a black Jesus, a black God, a black Abraham, a black Moses, and a black everybody else into the book, like the one I have here, in order to help us accept the story that they push and make it ours and co-opt the story, because there are not any West African traditions written down in the book that we can follow.
Okay. So last ratchet question from the great honorable Elijah Ratchet Muhammad, right? Should we get reparations from African countries and or the black church?
That is an interesting question from African countries. For the ones who know that they were in direct, where they had a direct relationship with the enslaving nations, yes. So if they knew that one of their direct exports, one of their main exports was slaves, yes, because we would have to attach that to the church. And we're not going to get reparations unless we get it from the church. The Catholic Church is the center of all this through Asientos. That's something I will present when I do my presentation of the Asiento de Negroes.
Can you ask that question one more time, Craig, for me?
Yeah. Hold on right quick. Let me get it. Let me get back.
Ask me that question.
Let me get back to the ratchet.
Oh yeah, you left. I did leave out, and the black church. I did leave out. My fault. I did leave out the black church.
You good?
That's what I was gonna comment on.
The black church, due to the complacency and the misusage of this idea and the funds that the black church has made off the community, yes, the black church should pay reparations back to the community due to the amount of money they make. They make about $100 million a year off the black community, if not more. So, and they can do a lot better with those funds. A lot better. I shouldn't see TD Jakes and Cuffio Dollar flying around in jet.
Yeah,
and they have parishioners who are broke. And I was in Texas where TD Jake's church is, and I knew some of his broke parishioners through my auntie.
You say that the black church should give reparations?
Yes. Yes.
And you
or go out of business.
Okay. And then who else was supposed to give reparations, Craig? What was the first?
Okay, so
every church should give reparations. The black church is tied to the Catholic Church. So yes,
for that too.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna get to you. A1. I'm finna get to you. Hold up, right quick though. Hey, Courtney, congratulations. I think you said you're a father too. Congratulations, Captain Cold
Congratulations,
Cut
Courtney.
Courtney. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? You got another cold cut, trying to cut people on the internet, man. So let me get with that. Let me get back into my great master teacher's files. You see what I'm saying? That he teach me all the melanin and type of, sorcery for me to be blacker. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But ratchetly black. But you know what I'm saying? I appreciate Ratchet Craig, man. Undo Duck, Ratchet Craig, Allah, man. I appreciate him for teaching me, you know, how to use my 9 ether powers and awaken. So anyway, so check this out, right? The last question was, should we get reparations from African countries and or the black church? That was the question, A1.
Okay, I'm gonna say no to both. It sounds good because we're upset, we're angry. We know we've been taken amiss by these philosophical concepts that people have indoctrinated, but our people have already been exploited enough. So no. Like, and this is the same reason that I say reparations wouldn't work for black people either, because all they're going to be doing is giving us our own money back. And that's a problem. Um, if the government were to give us reparations, are they giving us our tax dollars that we paid, that we already worked for? Like, what's going on here? Or is that really, maybe pay us? That's why we want land, or we want gold, or something of actual substantial value, not more fiat currency that keeps us trapped in the matrix. Um, and the same thing with the black church and um, black countries in Africa, even the ones, you know, I could maybe go for the ones that had a hand in it if you want to do the government. And that's still if, the families are somehow still in power that put that all in place. Or maybe, I mean, I have to just look at that situation. I'm going off the fly. Maybe we can say the whole power structure because it's colonialism right there. So if we do want to attack that, cool. But I still would say we're going to get our own money back. So at the same time, if reparations in the form of fiat currency, I'm not for that. I'm in the form of reparations and maybe land, and we have to figure out some other form of contract because the whole world's been stolen from us through the doctrine of discovery. And what I was going to say, I saw we had a troll in the comments earlier saying, first he said it was Canadian, then he said it was in the Supreme Court. Blah blah. That's not the same. Well,
I ain't
obviously
never said
not.
anything about the Supreme Court or
No,
Canadian.
that was me. That was me. I
Oh,
was going over a news clip that I show all the time where they were talking about it in the Canadian news, and he was saying that they have a parliament. Of course they do, but he doesn't know the context in which the law was established or when it was passed. At first it was international law.
so can I give you a little pushback on that reparations? Because to me, and this is what's funny to me when it comes to these reparations conversations. First thing people always jump to is money,
Yeah, go ahead. I'm
always.
listening.
And then I can go look in Evansville, Indiana, or, or Evansville, Illinois. Excuse me, Evansville, Illinois, where they gave out land reparations. And now with those land reparations, homes, people who can trace their ancestry through DNA back to slavery. They're getting that. They're getting able to what? Get housing, and it's also helping with what? Education in that area.
Okay.
So
And that's
and
exactly what I'm talking about. That's what we need, some type
I
of
do think
reparations in that form.
they're giving them a stipend at the end of all this. So there are ways that it can be implemented where money doesn't have to be the number one thing. But to repair damages that was done to a people, and this is another thing that always gets me. I look at other nations that the United States or some other country has done some type of atrocity to, where they either had them bombed, they were um, poisoned, they were killed in mass, e- except for really the Arab nations. But when you look at the Jews and the Holocaust, they got reparations from Germany and they got some reparation money from America. When you look at Hiroshima, Nagasaki, the bombing, they got reparations.
I
Hmm.
understand. It's
And,
and I'm
but
just for
hold up, but
something
hold
bigger. I'm for
but
restoration. I want the land back. I want it all back. You feel what
and
I'm
see
saying?
that's it
So,
right there. And the restoration will come. The restoration will proceed once we acknowledge and we accept that they have to be what? Held accountable. The other people held them accountable. The other nations were able to hold them accountable.
see, I'm looking at it as
Even the Native
reparation.
American, even the Native Americans
I'm
were
looking at it
able
as
to get
reparations
reparation.
is just interest. I'm looking at it like that, like because they owe the land back plus interest from what they made off of it. Because operating a corporation on stolen land is a fraud. So, and this is all perpetrated through the doctrine of discovery, which So
Oh,
this would
I'm
be more than,
totally
and this
aware of
would be
all
more
that.
than just this would be more than just something for the black slaves. This would be for everywhere the doctrine of discovery was implemented,
No,
which we
no,
already
no,
know.
no, no. You see, that's
That's
the
what
problem.
restoration
You
would
see,
be,
you see,
So
and see. This is what I was saying. The Native Americans have already been restored.
okay, I can see that. I can see that.
They've already been restored. The
They
ones
signed their
that weren't
contract. I see what
completely
you're saying.
bingo, they signed their contract. The ones that weren't
Okay,
completely decimated, wiped off the face of the planet, they've been restored.
and they've accepted, and they've accepted it, so you can't go back.
So
And
you
that's why I'm
can't go
scared about this
bingo,
reparations thing because it's like once you settle for less, we're stuck. So it's like it's
bingo,
scaring me.
bingo.
Like, hold up, people.
So
Y'all about to
now,
take
so
50K and a Popeyes coupon? Like,
no,
what's going on? We need to
no,
slow down. We need to
the
negotiate.
reparations, right? We have to negotiate them better. But see, when you look historically, and that's why I love being a historian because now I can look at other nations and see and other peoples and see what they did to get their recompense and see how they went about it. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to implement ideas from other nations, other peoples, where tragedies have happened by imperial nations to see how they got their recompense.
Okay, you know what? I could be patient. I'm a little aggressive with it.
I am too.
I want
I
it
am
all
too.
back, and I want it right now. You hear
But
me?
all we got to figure out a way to actually go about it. And we got a lot of people that got their ideas, but no one actually knows how to formulate them
Okay.
and actually present them. And no, and we don't even know who to present them to.
You
That's
talking
the
real
other
calm.
thing.
You talking real calm, so I'm rocking with you right now. I'm gonna calm
Like
down.
like when you think about it, who will we present our reparations claim to? The Supreme Court? They're going to turn us right down. Who? So who? I
I don't
know
know.
the Hague.
What would Khalid
The
Muhammad do?
Hague. We would have to take a. Have you ever heard of the Hague?
uh,
We would have
no.
to put them on trial with the World Court.
Okay.
Try them for crimes against humanity and lay out the crimes that they committed against this race of humans. Bam. What did the Jews do in the Holocaust? What did they do in Hiroshima?
Okay, and I think and we can have a
But
further conversation on that.
yeah, we can have a further conversation.
Because I actually
I
want
just
to
I
look
just
up what our
overthink
because
things.
I have some ideas, but I actually want to bring forth some sources, and then that'll let me know if I'm correct in my line of thinking on that. Because I was gonna get into I'm not even gonna get into it. Go ahead.
But no, it's good. But these are just things that I've thought about. Like when I actually think about the conversation and I look into what what's going on in this country and Like how where we would that's the only place we would be able to be heard. And it'd have to be a mass. It wouldn't we would have to have great lawyers and
Well,
um,
to go to the
enough
world
evidence to
court,
present the claim.
this is what I was going to say. I wanted to look up before, but to go to the world court, wouldn't we have to nationalize? Can we do that as black people?
I don't think we would have the national law. I don't know. You see, that's something I haven't looked into.
And I think that I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's
I don't.
rumored that not Martin. I said Martin. It's rumored that Malcolm was working on something like that before they took
Maybe
him
he
out.
was.
So,
Maybe he was. I don't know.
But gentlemen, of course, that is a very good conversation. Ah, dang, did it again. Sorry, but no, check it. No, that was real good, right? That's very, very good, right? But that's another conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And A1, this is how dangerous Esabio is, right? What he did, he went into assassination mode, bro. You know what I'm saying? He pulled the blade out, stuck it right near your neck, and pulled it back. Said, "You know what? I can rock with you. I'll take you under my wing of the Esabio school of assassination and cold cut criticism." You see what I'm saying? So he did quick. You know what I'm saying? He did that right. But chill out, Esabio. Put the blades down, man.
You
Going
stupid.
down too deep in the mix, man. But
Yeah, we don't have to go no more.
nah. We got
Look, we don't have to go further.
we got to turn it up, Esabio. We got to turn it up, bro. I told you this. Whenever you decide to come back and Esabio it up, you know what I'm saying? This is the place to do it. Because just listen to you talk, your reasoning, how critical you are. And Ratchet was right. You serious as hell. You don't laugh at none of my goddamn jokes. I feel like
No, I be over here laughing. Trust me, I don't. Trust me, I be laughing like you. This dude is a fool. I be laughing. Trust me.
no, I got you. But I have some things I want to do with you. You know what I'm saying? I know A1 got a lot of stuff he want to do with you. You know what I'm saying? And there's some things we gotta push forward, brother. But your presentations is a must. Now, today I'm not gonna let no one up and stuff like that because of our agreement. You know,
I
got you.
mean, you. I said you can.
I mean,
It
I
don't bother me.
wanted to show you I'm a man of my word. You see what I'm saying? Because I know
That's what's up.
it was some
It
people that
it wouldn't have bothered me. I know if they got contention, bring their contention. I'm probably laugh at them after I
what you
hit 'em with what I'm gonna hit them with.
you gonna open the panel up? That's what you about to do?
da.
Open the panel up.
Okay.
Hold on. Not today.
You
Next.
know I'm not afraid of no smoke.
I know, but it's some things let's just say some things I gotta work out first. But next time you come on, yeah, we opening that panel up. It's just next time Asabio, that's Asabio Unchained. You see what I'm saying? That's
I'm
Asabio.
always unchained. Shit, I gotta put shit. I'm, I'm for real. Like when I take this serious, like I don't come on here just to talk. Like the things that I study,
Mm-hmm.
I I actually studied in past college classes in. So I take this shit serious. Like the psychology shit that I be studying, like that shit ain't no weak shit. Like so I take that shit serious. Like the study of the human brain and how how it operates. And how it affects our behavior. Like I take that shit serious because it helps me correct my behavior.
Mm. And so
We got
I,
JJ 7000 in the building. Shout out JJ 7000.
special shout out to
You already know.
hey
You've been running from me since I called you out on your racist religion, bruh.
What's going on with that, JJ? Talk
uh,
to us.
man, hold on. Hey, you can't say that about I got uh, JJ has a little it's a financial gambling advisor. You know what I'm saying? He inboxes everybody. 4,000. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Astabio.
he a gambler? JJ be gambling?
He gets you more money through his gambling system. It's a couple of people that said it's very legit. I've been talking with. You know what I'm
Now, what would Jesus think?
saying? Hold on, man. Hold on, man. Hey, come on, man. Don't disrespect the great JJ like that. That's Ratchet Craig's best friend and his mentor. So don't disrespect him like that, man. JJ is legendary, man. But but
He
I'm just
blocked me. JJ didn't block me like 17,000 times on Facebook Messenger.
I don't believe that, man. JJ never
Shit.
blocked
JJ done blocked me like 17,000 times.
man. I don't believe
What's going on with that, JJ? Come on, JJ. Unblock him.
I don't believe that.
Shit,
Give him a pass.
I used to be able to hit JJ 7,000 up just to chop it up with JJ 7,000. I can't do it no more. He blocked me.
JJ 7,000 real like that. I done chopped it with JJ 7,000 a couple times. He'll
Oh,
do
you
that.
unblocked me since when? I'ma check it. I'ma see if I'm unblocked, dog. I'ma see if I'm unblocked.
Shout
If
out
I'm
Chase the
not
Great in the
unblocked,
comments. Shout out Chase the
I'ma
Great.
hit you up.
Hey, man, y'all need to quit respecting JJ.
JJ was
homie,
one of
man.
the
That's the
first
homie.
persons I really got cool with. JJ, my dog. He know he my dog. We just
Shout out
we
Lions
just go
Den.
back and forth
Shout out
sometimes.
Lions Den.
But we gotta call him Mr. JJ. You ain't call him just it's Mr.
I
JJ.
call him JJ negative 7,000 sometimes.
Dope, man. Off me. Respect, Ratchet. Dog, man. That's JJ. That's Ratchet Craig's best friend, JJ. He look up to that.
You know, you the super troll, JJ. If I'm a troll, you the king troll.
Why they always attack you, JJ? Dang, I try to put a good name for you, man.
He called me a troll. He the king troll.
He troll, brother. It's all right. You join the club.
His troll is on Superman level.
But I have to say this though, man. I have to say this right here. And JJ said he learned from you, Esabio.
You stupid. You was in the community before me. I learned from you. See? Come on, bro. How you gonna do that? Nah, bro. You was here first.
He so was here. Oh man. I gotta do this, man. I have to do this, man. I'm a Esabio. You gotta
What
come,
up?
gotta come, bro. And at A1, we getting ready to rock it out and close. Got some features I can talk about, man. I'm getting hot on. So I gotta talk about a few things before we close it out. You two got anything else to say? Also before y'all
I do. Before you jump into that.
Before y'all talk, y'all gotta talk about how great JJ is.
Before you see, JJ is so great, right? That I need him to send his top debater. That's what I need him to do. I need you to send your best man. What he saying in the chat? What's up, JJ? Send your best man,
please
JJ.
Don't send to Corey. Please do not send to Corey.
I don't care who it is.
Please do not Mr. Dumpson.
Taking all debates.
Keep Mr. Dumpson away from debates.
Yeah, tell him leave the ad hominems at home and let's get it in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, A1 want to pick all the fights, G. Want to pick all the fights.
I want all the smoke. You feel me? You see what I be over here doing?
You know we be over there on Q butter, knocking them down 24/7. You know you always welcome over there. We keep our 45 ACPs on the table. I told you my 45 ACP with the Eagle Talon sitting there fully loaded.
Hey yo, so A1, hey bro, tell people where they can find you at, man, and what else you have upcoming. You got an interview, right?
I do have an interview coming up. Where you can find me at is right here on the Whole Effing Show. You know what I'm saying? If you want to check me out, you need to subscribe to the Whole Effing Show right now. If you haven't already, type that in. I can't share my screen, and usually I got the advertisements popping and everything. We just running it right now and just having a little chit chat. But type in the Whole Effing Show. That's DAFNSHOW. And that's how that's rocking. Shout out Chase the Great in the chat. Yeah. So subscribe to the Whole Effing Show. Subscribe to Astro Projections 369. That's where you can find me at. I'm sorry we couldn't share the screen and do what we normally do, but it was good to let Sabio go ahead and get that all out, drop some information. You know, I
It's
still
a
got some
short A,
questions
not
for
a
you,
long A. It's a short A, so it's Sabio, not long
Sabio.
A. Yeah,
Sabio. All right, my bad
y'all
about that.
pronouncing it like y'all Mexican.
You funny, you funny, you funny.
I'm
And
serious. Y'all pronouncing
It
it like y'all
spelled like it
Mexican.
looked like it's Mexican.
It's
It's
a
not my
Spanish
fault.
name. It's a
Okay,
Spanish name. It
we'll
is.
say that then. We'll say that. Okay. No, I'm talking shit.
That's why y'all. It is. It's a Spanish name.
uh
Jug. And yeah, and also check out A1's channel for some of his exclusives. He gonna have some real exclusive content, man. But other than that, man, I gotta get down to the business and what's going down on the shift on Paradigm 314, right? Now we have the shepherd, the teacher, the father, Lord Bennu versus he wants to. I gotta say this because this is how he says it. He wants to save your soul. He want to bring you to Christ. He don't want you to go to hell, and he wants you to be right there at the pearly gates, standing right next to him, and walking into the ever loving light. Nobody cares. So nobody cares versus Lord Banu. That's happening next week. Please come and support that. They are going to be debating. They're going to go at it. It's going to be an epic showdown between Lord Banu and nobody cares, man. And guess what? Once you see nobody at it, you're going to care. You know what I'm saying? Um, Also, this showdown is going down this Saturday, 3 p.m. Central Time. I have to give it to the creator of the channel, Ratchet Craig and me partner, A1's janky promoter, the one and only violent black man with the tattoos, the gold chains, who drink white Hennessy that threaten to pretty much fly people out just so he can beat them up. Courtesy and ignorance in the same sentence. I never seen that. That's wild. You know what I'm saying? You can't even sue him because you voluntarily went out there to get beat up and paid just to have a flight back. You know what I'm saying? That's wild. So I
that's
have
your man's. That's your man's.
the one and
Who the fuck did that dumb shit?
oh, you know him, you know him, you know him.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. DMG. That's him. So check it out, right? He is going to go up against the masterful, multiversal, majestic, monarchical musician of true majesty, the one and only ONE, Neo Love. This
Oh shit.
3 p.m. on Who is the Greatest Musical Artist, Michael Jackson or Prince?
Oh shit.
DMG has Prince, Neo got him, Jay.
Oh
So
shit. What?
they're gonna
Yeah,
down.
I want to see this.
They're gonna go down. So warning everybody, it's gonna be it's gonna be White Hennessy versus Paul Mason. You know what I'm saying?
Hell nah.
So I believe DMD gonna have a White Hennessy, Neo gonna have a Paul Mason. So they're gonna be going at it. You know what I'm saying? Neo basically said he has to pretty much show why a musician knows better than a fan. So the brothers at the end of the day, and DMG pretty much is, he went old man mode talking about what he got to do. You know what I'm saying? You know how DMG get. You know what I'm saying? Hey JJ, I would laugh too, JJ. I would laugh too at it. It's a nice showdown going down, man. But other than that,
JJ set something up, man. Set something up. We doing it for the brand, baby. Go
yeah,
ahead. Go ahead. My bad about that.
check it out.
Ooh,
But
that shit.
other than that, man, the Scripture Rippa Esabio, A1, the infamous, will be back, and me, your host with not so much the most, Classic Rig, one jersey the whole entire time, will be back with his loud and clear. I have a special treat for a lot of people and for my contribution to Paradigm Shift. Another thing too, Asabia, Robert
Mm.
Ash told me to tell you to say, he wanted to say hello to you.
Oh, you still lying to people? Tell him I said keep lying to people. Keep the lies going.
I will tell
Because
him.
that's all he could do. Robert Ash is a funny guy. Woo, shit.
Wow. Yeah. Anyway, right. The Scripture Ripper will be back to rip some more script, actuality and reality. And A1 will be back with his cool glasses that he don't tell me where to get. You know what I'm saying? Brother, you can't hold.
You can, and I go by the Shackle Breaker or the Pseudo Assassin now. New channel, new brand. Scripture Rippers is what I started out with.
Right.
I am now the Shackle Breaker
You told me you
or
was
the
going
Pseudo
live.
Assassin.
I went and got some new shades, for the occasion, and you'll see me next week.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
astral projecting.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Anyway, fam, I appreciate y'all. Yell over here cracking up. Look like he had a good time. Look like the brother will be back with a very innocent presentation.
I want to see this presentation. Damn it,
Hey,
that's
man.
what
Yeah,
I
I
want
need
to
to.
see.
We gonna have to work out the parameters and see what I'm, so I can really set this up correctly. Because I just don't want to be freestyling like I was, pulling information off the top of the dome, having to go get the source. I'd rather be able to present the sources and have it, structured.
Yeah,
I mean,
stay in the
So
back chat when we get off, so that way I can get your info. So
I
that
mean,
way, in case you need some help with it,
you
what I'm
call
saying?
that freestyle. I don't think Asabio need help. He a one man
Eh,
army.
I mean, just put it together, not with the information
I mean,
at
I know.
all.
I don't call that freestyle.
You
Bro.
know,
I was
you
like,
stupid.
you can shoot me the
Nah, that was
information. I'll slap the
freestyling.
presentation together for you about
no,
an
freestyle.
hour. If that's what it take to get it out, because I want to see this.
Sabio, you
That's
ain't
But
info.
then I can go through what he has then too at the same time.
But
Sabio.
see, the thing is, it's a lot of information that I've read. So, and like I said, a lot of it I read, I presented. Like, and that's the other thing that I do. I normally read a book. Like when I was doing the Ottoman Empire breakdown, I would normally read a book before I presented it, and then I would read the majority of the book and talk about the book on the show. So,
Yeah, hey man.
Okay.
If you call
Well,
that Sabio,
shout out you, man. Shout out you.
I hate to see you when you actually get ready. Cause I thought I was listening to a documentary. Golly.
no, man, that was freestyle. I appreciate the
Yeah.
flattery though.
You got to put a visual with that, because these half these motherfuckers slow as hell.
Ah,
You crazy.
I mean, no, I'm serious. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
and
just
I
it's
think
just if
visuals will help me out a lot too.
you know what, and I'm gonna do a podcast on the art of learning, because visual seeing something done is one way that we learn things. So
Hmm.
some people just learn visually. Some
Hmm.
people learn from reading, and they can get that. They say like reading is 10%, visual
Yeah,
is
I
like
can learn through
30%,
all.
and it's like
Yeah, I
and
learned through all of them
doing it
equally.
is like it's like 90%. You're at your max level of learning when you're actually doing it.
It actually, if you take psychology, you will actually see that depends on the person though.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm sure there are exceptions to the rule, etc.
Yeah, no,
But
it just depends on the person. Sometimes it depends on if you're right hand, left brain, or right brain. It can be something as simple as that.
and I'm glad you said that, because before I do the podcast, I'm gonna make sure to take that into account.
see,
So it's deep. Like once I man, look, I don't want to talk no more. But once I started taking those psychology classes, I've been thinking about going back to get my degree in psychology.
Yeah,
That's how much
you need to do that, brother. You need to do that.
I enjoy psychology now. Like, because it's a very interesting field and it helps me see the behaviors that I can correct by looking at the things that I've read about certain chemicals and how they react and how they will go up and down, fluctuate due to word triggers. And so you can start watching out for the trigger words, the trigger reactions, the trigger statements, trigger moments, and things, so it's crazy.
Dr. Inky, American Healer Ratchet, right? Love talk about and also, right? He like get into philosophy and
Who he to heal, Craig?
Himself,
Go ahead.
Killed a lot of people. Dr. Scratchy done
You gotta be scratching my head. Like
he done healed.
he
He healed us. Yo, he gonna heal you too, brother. Just wait, man. Just wait. I saw Ratchet Krieg, man. You know how Ratchet gets sometimes. I call him. He is a Ratchet master. But
Oh,
anyway,
that's my dog. Even
that's my
though he crazy sometimes,
kid. So even though he don't be drunk when people say he drunk, right? And that's the killer part about him.
he just be sounding like it.
Just be sounding like it. You know what I'm saying? Tending like I'm gonna go along with it. Like and not. And they be the drunks calling him drunk. That's wild. I'll be like, yo. Anyway, I never seen such wildness. But the Scripture Rippa Esabio will be back, man. And oh man, we got a lot of work to do. I do have some requests with the. I'm just selfish. I do got some requests with the presentations, bro. I'm still like it because you get some ideas, brother. But I do got some things that you would love to be a part of, bro. If you don't mind being in an open panel, bro. We got some stuff to rock with, man. And welcome back to Paradigm Shift 314, powered by the whole effing show. I'm glad to have this back here, Chief. This place is a place of non-bias. You can come, enjoy. It's neutral territory. And as long as you respect the rules, bro, you'll have no problems whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? No problem.
Peace. I understand that. That's peace.
Yeah. Hey, he will be back, family. I stayed in one jersey the whole entire time. I didn't y'all. I just keep on one jersey. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no need to lie. But that I'm Classic Craig, your host with Not So Much the Most. These are the brothers. We'll be back with more information.
But
So,
yeah, I'm finna be jumping over there on Q Butter Show in a minute too. So
hey,
And again, that's Astro Projections 369 on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all that.
you in the Ubuntu, you in that back chat Ubuntu Astral Projection?
No, I'm A1. I was gonna say stick around and then we can swap
hey,
information real quick.
he's
For sure.
finna be. But other than that, folks, later. And we
Peace.